He waited in the quiet, watching the damaged horizon. There once was a land that had known too much war. The people lived in fear, trapped by the fighting. This is the story of how hope tried to find a way home. For months, the people endured their darkest days. Homes became only memories in the dust and rubble. Streets that were once busy became silent graveyards. Mothers counted the children they had lost forever. Fathers searched for small treasures among the wreckage. The loss was heavy, weighing down every soul. The world watched this pain, unable to look away. Some people wept for the suffering they saw. Others chose to turn away, hoping the fighting would end itself. But the pain did not stop just because the world grew tired. Then, something important changed in a distant room. It was not a change brought by guns or threats. It began with a simple table and a new decision. 9 chairs appeared, one by one, around the wood. 9 nations answered a call to stand together as one. They gathered not to fight, but to build peace. Each brought its history and its own power. They formed what would be known as the Board of Peace. They chose diplomacy, speaking with strong, clear words. Their goal was to change the path of this painful story. They promised to repair what the long war had broken. This reconstruction meant more than just buildings and walls. They spoke of 3 great promises for the people. First, the guns must fall silent, forever and always. A permanent stop to all fighting was the very first step. The people needed certainty that the war would not return. Second, they promised to rebuild every future that was broken. This meant new homes, schools, and hospitals for everyone. Third, they promised the people their dignity and freedom. To give them their own flag and a safe, secure home. But the elderly man in Gaza had heard promises before. He knew that words on paper often turned to dust. He remembered the agreements that failed to deliver peace. He remembered the hopes that had been dashed by war. History showed that promises can be fragile things. Now children gathered around him, full of curiosity. They asked him the most important question of all. "Will this time be different for our home?" they asked. He wanted to believe the new words he heard. But belief requires proof, not just polite speeches. Now came the real test for the Board of Peace. The test was transforming words into real actions. Could they clear the millions of tons of debris left behind? Can 9 nations truly speak as one voice for peace? Will promises become actual bricks and solid mortar? Can a diplomatic board become a bridge to a new future? Will peace be more than a word written on expensive paper? The politicians met in quiet, air-conditioned rooms. Meanwhile, the ground reality waited for the change. The people knew the journey ahead would be long and hard. But with the new board, a cautious hope began to rise. The elderly man felt a warmth he had not known for months. He decided to perform a small, necessary act of faith. He planted the small tree among the endless concrete. He did not know if the tree would live or die. But he planted it anyway because that is what hope does. Slowly, the people began to prepare for a new life. They gathered their strength to face the challenges ahead. The Board of Peace represents a beginning, not an ending. History will judge the board by what grows from it. It will judge by the children who finally feel safe at home. The world watches. The people wait. Time will tell. The three great hopes must now become reality. Peace is not a speech. Peace is a promise kept.